Can you tell the chairperson your first occasion when you met, the first occasion when you met with Mr. Essa?
I met Mr. Essa for the first time in March 2015. As I testified in Parliament, I was called to Melrose Arch by Matshela Koko, who was the acting group executive for technology and commercial at the time. I waited for about an hour.
When he asked you to go to Melrose Arch, did he say why?
No, not at that stage. He wanted to talk to me about certain matters. We went across the road to an office building. I had to hand in my phone at reception. And then this gentleman walks in, introduces himself to me as Salim Essa, and that he is the advisor to Minister Brown.
Is that what he said?
Yes. Mr. Essa then proceeds to ask me, what do we need to do if we want to suspend people? It's at that stage that he then proceeds to tell me that in the coming days, the 4 executives, namely Tsidiso Matona, Dan Marokani, Solofelo Molefe, and Matshela Koko would be suspended. I look at Matshela Koko because he's sitting in the room, and he's actually unfazed by this revelation. And he said that certain people would not return.
Is that certain people would not return?
Yes. Even though I was a senior manager, I had not been exposed to this kind of behind-the-scenes machinations.
Mr. Koko, you've seen his statement. It's actually his affidavit. And he says, he called you to, he agrees calling you to Melrose Arch, but he says you didn't go anywhere else. And he wanted you to advise him on a labor-related issue or his labor rights. Tell the chairperson what's your response to that.
With respect, Mr. Chairman, Matshela Koko's lying. He collected me at JB Rivers and took me to the office.
Once those officials are out that were to be suspended, you have new people coming in. You have Mr. Brown Molefe, you have Mr. Arnaud Singh. But let me focus on Mr. Brown Molefe. At the very beginning of his entrance, there is the Tigeta issue. Ms. Daniels, what boggles one's mind is this, that this seems to be a secret meeting, and that what gets to be discussed there are things pertaining to Eskom, matters pertaining to Eskom, by a person who is not an Eskom employee or official. How is it that they would call you to such a meeting to discuss such sensitive issues?
I cannot give you a reason for why they would trust me. You know, there has been this theory that I was part of it. And I would urge you to just look at the Gupta's modus operandi. I was not offered bags of cash. I was not entertained at the Saxon World residence. I was not in Dubai at the largesse of the Guptas. I certainly was not a member of the Oberoi Club. I did not get invited to any of the functions or any of the things that people have testified about. So it is something that I also don't understand.